Well, welcome back, everyone. A down day in markets without any question. Is the market done the selling, or do we have more to go? Well, we're going to use a very straightforward, powerful set of strategies to help answer this question. On the left-hand side of your screen, you've got the SPY, the market, the ETF for the S&P 500, and overlaid, we have the TRP toolkit and a set of strategies around that. We've got the same toolkit on a daily time frame. Now, why are we looking at two time frames? We're trying to narrow down where price is likely to settle down and whether or not that's just a pause or likely a bounce. We got a TRP sell signal at the end during the week last week. It closed with that cyan dot above price. The speed lines were crossing negatively as that last week closed, and we can still see that the channel is sloping up. The market, for all intents and purposes, is still in an uptrend according to the weekly chart. However, we've come down to actually test the actual channel. Now, this is one of the few times, the only time we've really done it since the lows last year in October. So when you look at the targeting tool part of the strategies, sell signal, bar closed with it, that's a weekly bar, target 1, 505 and a nickel, midline, and then target 2. The important part here is that we've got a sell signal with a TRP negative momentum shift in the subchart. And what does this all mean? Well, this means that we are getting a clear signal we're running out of bullish fuel. And in fact, we've got a fairly negative divergence from high to high, lower highs here. This together says we're very likely going to succumb to a move down, but it typically doesn't happen at a market level all at once. We've come into a rising channel, and what we need to identify is it target 1, midline, which happens very commonly, or target 2. Now, target 2 obviously would be a wholesale breakdown of that uptrend and a very big change in direction, like the NASDAQ has given us. However, when we look at the daily chart, we had our sell signal over here. That sell signal, middle of July, as you can see over there, took us down the midline target, and we started to settle below the channel. We had a lot of volatility around the channel flattening out. And again, last week on the 1st, we had a TRP sell with targets, and obviously we're below the target too. If you look at the subchart, the sell signal that came in on August the 1st came with that negative momentum shift right at to slightly below the bottom of the channel. Now, if I take the two insights together, I have a potential runaway breakdown on a daily chart, and I have on a weekly chart likely more downward action. However, a rising channel that can hold support or at least pause the selling. Now, it is really up to us to understand how to take advantage of these runaway breakdowns and how far can they go. We've gone back in time and taken a look at how much longer, how many days, how many hours, how much more down in price using a unique approach on the TRP subchart, which I'm going to be sharing with you in a very special class on Wednesday and teaching you how to find runaways where they're right at their beginning and, of course, when they're about to end. Now, what is a runaway? It's one of these amazing creatures out there where you get a sell signal. This is an hourly chart of the SPY ETF, and you can see that the sell signal came as the speed lines crossed over, price came down, but right there it broke below the channel. And the trade could be triggered at that point. We got the TRP, negative momentum shift in the subchart, and down it went. But at this stage, we're well below the target 2 issued. Is the trade off the table? Well, right over here, there may have been some question about it. We didn't really see the TRP lines come back up into its actual channel, so the trade was still technically alive, but adding to it wouldn't have made sense. And then, of course, today down we went, red dot. Now take a look at what's happened today. We got a low after that negative momentum shift, and this is where the TRP toolkit can also shine and tell you this runaway breakdown, over 7% of potential downside gains, if you will, for those playing short. Well, right over there, we started to get the early warning signals that this selling may be slowing down, and outside of an aftershock, we may be coming to the end of this runaway. Now, imagine if you could take that insight and identify the beginning of a trade that is likelier to turn into a runaway, finding that very elevated position, whether it's short or long. For those of you that have small accounts, large accounts, everything in between, for those of you who have been trading for years and or are brand new, the process that I'm going to teach you on Wednesday is 3 simple steps. Identify the setup, look for the target area of execution, plan the exit, and then, of course, manage accordingly. And the way that we're going to do this is straightforward on screen. As well, we're going to use a scanner that's going to cut the work down for us. The TRP toolkit comes with a scanner. The scanner can immediately identify for us bullish or bearish runaways, and we can scan for them instantaneously, identifying higher probability opportunities that give us the exact setup. I'm going to show you how to interpret the chart, how to identify and click and symbol link and immediately get right to the heart of, I have a great idea. I found it using the scanner. How do I execute? Now that's one of the things that we've been doing with members in the active trader room and those on WealthCharts using something called UVXY. Now, if you take a look at where that positive momentum shift happened in the middle of July and the buy signal with our targets, what we identified was the potential, for something like this to happen using this toolkit. And of course, did we know that it's going to happen today? No. But we started to see that pick up into the end of last week. And the key here is we identified a buy when the TRP momentum crossover lines were at the very bottom of that channel. And that is an opportunity once price is above the channel. Test the channel, is holding the channel on test. It's in wait for a takeoff. And boy, did it ever. 130% or so odd rise between Friday and the heights of price action today. Stay safe out there, folks. I'm going to give you a link right now to join me so you can learn how to do exactly what we showed you right here and much, much more. A runaway, bullish or bearish, is a very powerful creature. Combining that with common sense and, of course, a very clear set of rules, 3 steps. And I'm going to teach you those 3 steps with straightforward examples. Simply go to becomebettertrader.com/yes and join me for this do not miss class. It is of paramount importance for a trader to know where to start optimally, when to add or subtract, and when to exit. Letting losers remain, not a great idea. Having winners run longer rather than taking profits too early, big part of our conversation. Identifying optimal entries and higher probability trades, big part of our conversation on Wednesday. This is not a recorded class. It's meant and dedicated to help you in times like these. Join me Wednesday, August the 7th at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Time, 9 a.m. Central. I look forward to seeing you there. Go to becomebettertrader.com/yes. Can't wait to be there to share my insights with you and build further your knowledge. Bye for now, all. Have a great rest of your day.